In this episode of Divorce Step by Step, we're going to be looking at ages and stages of how children are affected by divorce. So I've been working with some families that have a 3-year-old, and they were planning, and we sat down together and we worked out what they were going to say, how they were going to say it, where they were going to say it. And they did all of this. They got everything ready for their 3-year-old. They sat down, they started to explain that Daddy was going to live in another house and that he was going to leave and there were going to be some changes and that Mummy was, going to be here. And then suddenly they looked at their 3-year-old wanting to see what her reaction was, and there was this pause. And then her bottom lip went and she burst into tears and said, "But who's going to look after me?" And of course, the parents had thought that they had explained everything clearly, but from the perception and maturity of their 3-year-old, she misunderstood completely. So I think it's helpful to go through the ages and stages of a divorce to see perhaps how you tell your children, the expectations that you should have of how they're going to understand it, and what their experiences are due to their maturity and their personality. So, parents naturally, of course, see the divorce as a very complicated and complex procedure, which indeed it is, but children will see it in a very practical way. So here are the 0 to 5 key developmental issues. Now, babies and toddlers, of course, are very, very unaware of everything that's happening. So they have no ability to understand what's going on. So you don't perhaps need to tell them anything because they won't understand it. As long as they feel nurtured, loved and secure, then babies and toddlers will go through the process fairly easily if you're in a good place and you're relaxed. Now, 3 to 4-year-olds, now they're beginning to develop their independence, but they're still highly dependent on you. They have a limited ability to understand cause and effect, and they're still unable to think ahead or understand the future. So they think the world revolves around themselves, and they're still very egocentric. And the lines between fantasy and reality is sometimes a bit fuzzy for them and unclear, and they can be a bit confused about what's happening. So they also have difficulty expressing their emotions. So be mindful of that. Don't give them too much information. Keep it very practical about what's happening next week, what's happening the week after, so that they can understand in simple ways. Signs of distress amongst a preschooler may manifest itself in fear or in anger or in tantrums or bad behaviour. They may regress a little bit and become more babyish. So be mindful that these are just signs of distress as they go through the process with you. Take a temporary step back and just analyse what your child is experiencing and how they're expressing it to you. Then there's the 6 to 11-year-olds. Key developmental stages. There's the 6 to 8-year-olds. They have a growing ability to think and to express their feelings more. So I think it's best to listen more than you talk to them. Of course, ask them some questions, but sit back and really listen, because I believe a child who feels heard feels understood. Now, they have a broader, less egocentric feel of the world, but they're still very limited between 6 and 8 in their understanding of adult issues. So don't overburden them with too much information. Keep it simple, keep it very practical. Now, between 9 and 11, children are definitely developing their ability to understand and to think and talk about their feelings and have their own opinions about the circumstances, about what's happening and the changes that are happening in the family. They have relationships outside of the home more, with friends, with teachers, with family members, for example. So again, they tend to see things in black and white, and they may begin to blame one of you, and they will take their lead from you. If you are in a confrontational place, they will feel they will have to choose. So again, conflict, if you can keep conflict out of the discussions with your ex, your child will feel more relaxed. For example, though, this is an interesting story from Rosie, parents I was working with, and Rosie came to see me and she was 8 years old, and she asked her dad, she said, "Why are you fighting? Is it because Mummy deleted something from your iPad?" And then Ross asked, "Are you splitting up because I was naughty at bedtimes and I kept coming into your bed?" So both children were trying to make sense of their circumstances, but not really understanding the enormity of what was happening. So be mindful to answer those questions, and the most important key thing in all the ages and stages, don't let your children take the blame or feel they should take the blame for what's been happening. The things to watch out for with all children, and I'll be coming on to the teenage years in a moment, lots of children express their anxiety by not sleeping, by having nightmares, perhaps they have tummy aches, perhaps they don't eat as much as they used to, they're not quite themselves. So again, be mindful of looking out for some of the things that your children might express their distress through. The key thing here is to provide stability for your children. Keep the routines the same, keep the bedtimes the same, still read to them, play with them, talk with them, take them out to the usual places that you go to. Keep as much as you can the same while they are going through the transition and changes of all the other things that are happening in their life. And when they want to talk to you, stop peeling the potatoes, put down the paper and really look at your child so they know that you are really listening to them. That is just one of the simplest of things. Give them a hug, give them some reassurance. I think then your child will start to relax. And if you're in a good place and fairly optimistic and hopeful and positive, despite what might be going on in your own head, your children will feel reassured too. So let's have a look at the 12 to 14 age range. Now, older children have obviously a greater capacity to understand the real issues that might be going on here, of course, depending on their maturity. They might want to feel heard. They might have an opinion about whether they go and stay over on a Friday night or a Saturday night with their dad or their mum. So again, despite all the different things that are happening, do listen to your children. Of course, you are the parent and you need to make the decisions that affect their lives, but let them feel involved in some of those things. Perhaps have limited choices like you used to when they were toddlers. You know, are you going to wear your blue jumper or your red jumper, implying you're wearing a jumper? It's the same principle with your teenagers going through the divorce. Do you want to stay with your dad on Tuesday night or do you want to stay with him on Thursday? That gives them a degree of flexibility, but they feel involved in the procedure. The most important thing here, despite any of the ages and stages, is to keep the lines of communication open. Don't build walls between you and your teenager, because it's always a difficult time anyway, but build the bridges that help communication all the time, because they are feeling pain, hurt, confusion, but help them build those bridges, keep listening, keep amending, keep being flexible, and your child will go through the process without too much upset and distress. The 14 to 18-year-olds, well, this is actually where my own children were at when I went through my divorce. And there is this balance between their becoming an adult and a young person, but they're not really quite there yet. So again, be mindful of the information that you give them. Don't become their friend and confide too much in there to them, but also keep listening. I think that's the key thing. Keep listening, keep asking, and talk when they're ready to talk, not when you're ready to talk. If they suddenly raise something out of the blue, put down whatever you're doing and listen. And I think that's the best possible thing you can do with kids during the 14 to 18-year-old stage. Look out for more divorce step-by-step videos when we'll go into even more detail.